Alright, my name's Ted Visner. I wanted to put out another video just to kind of explain to everybody what the courts are doing and how they're primarily being used to extort from the people and just beat people up. Tonight I have John Bendelli. Did I say that right? Bendelli. John Bendelli. John Bendelli is a state-licensed medical marijuana grower that has patients that he grows marijuana for. And when I was in jail, actually, when my house was raided by the Isabella County Sheriff's Department on September 17th, 2015, John Bendelli and I had a conversation where we discussed what was stolen from my home, the fact that everything in my home was thrown into dumpsters, and the fact that I would need to have a computer, and he offered to help me get one at the completion of his harvest, what he's state licensed to do. So I wanted to kind of draw the correlation here on how we all know that the jail phones are recorded and listened to. So my conversation with John while I was in jail on 4 misdemeanors and $200,000 bail was listened to, and John's home was raided, and everything that he had was absconded by the Saginaw Chippewa tribal police on September 27th. This is 10 days after the raid on my house. This is 2 days after I got out of jail. I was in jail for 8 days. So, looking through John's paperwork here, the police officer was basically stalking John's property. He claimed that, according to his own affidavit here, that the marijuana grow can be viewed on Google Earth. And this is his sworn affidavit of truth. Now, you cannot positively identify anything on Google Earth that's green and growing. You might be able to distinguish a fir tree from a hardwood, or something like that, but distinguishing a marijuana plant from any fruit-bearing tree, it's just not possible. So, do you want to be in this or not, John?
No.
Okay. All right. John's here. He's just a little camera shy tonight, and I don't even know if we're going to make this totally public or not, but we wanted to have a video shot so that we could show some people what to look for in a sworn affidavit used by police to obtain a search warrant or a seizure warrant for medical marijuana caregivers, and how they do what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. Now, this particular affidavit for search warrant is pretty straightforward. Officer is identified as David Feger, F-E-G-E-R, and the affiant states that. Okay, now this is a sworn affidavit under oath, under penalty of perjury, and it's just full of lies and secondhand information, and most of the contents of this sworn affidavit are second and third hand testimony from people that, third hand information essentially. So and so said somebody else said this, and now this affiant, this cop is attesting to it as factual under penalty of perjury. And you just can't do that. And I wish I'd have seen this before, but John didn't even get this fucking thing until he went to trial. Okay, this is the affidavit for the search warrant, okay, which was supposed to be left on his property. It's supposed to be signed by a judge. The warrant itself was supposed to be given to John, okay, on September 27, 2015, and it wasn't. And the first time he saw it was at his trial. I forget when your trial started, but it was, a couple months ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so these administrative courts in Isabella County tried John Bendelli on the lies of a Saginaw Chippewa police officer, as he states as fact, third-hand testimony. I just want to get this out and get this video done. His name is David Feger. He claims that he's worked with Bayonet. I don't know if he got fired or what, but now he works for the Saginaw Chippewa Indian tribe, and he's a bullshitter, and he can't fill out an affidavit to save his life, and this is just total bullshit. And I called him out on this before on Facebook and alerted his boss. I forget what his name is, Peggle or Peggle. Pego. I don't know. I guess Big Bear. Indian Saginaw Chippewa Indian chief. Is that what they call him? The chief of the tribal police or whatever. Anyways, I didn't get any response from him after making him aware that his police officers are lying on sworn affidavits to obtain search warrants through Isabella County, which is, you know, standard operating procedure for those idiots. And you can't even tell who signed it. The judge, magistrate, it looks like a forgered scribble. It's not readable. The prosecuting attorney, Risa Scully, also signed this, authorizing it. It looks like RTTS. But anyways, and it was filed on September 27, 2015, which was a Sunday. I'd like for them to explain to us, to everybody, you know, how these sworn affidavits are actually filed in the court on a Sunday. So I just want to start off here with pointing out the problems with the sworn affidavit, and the reason I'm doing this is because, you know, I care that people are not screwed by our courts, and by people that interact with the courts every single day, like police officers, like Risa Scully, like Judge, he's not even a judge, Magistrate Matthew Hagan, who is alleged to have signed this search warrant. But anyways, under number 3 on this, it says the facts establishing probable cause for the grounds for the search are, and then 1 is, yeah, I'm a police officer, blah, 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 Saginaw Chippewa Tribal Police Department, formerly a detective on the local drug team Bayonet, and is experienced in the investigation of varieties of crimes, including those involving controlled substances. Number 2, that on September 27th, 2015, 10 days after 30 to 40 SWAT members took me down for allegedly trespassing on my own frickin' property, and after our conversation on the jail phone, John's essentially taken down because he had offered to help me replace my computer so that I could keep working on the work that I do, which is basically this. So number 2, on September 27, 2015, a fiant, David Feger, why can't I ever, Feger, F-E-G-E-R, drove by the above described residence, observed what he believes to be a marijuana grow on the property. That's a guess. That's not a fact. Okay, there's no nothing positive about that statement. Beliefs are actually the absence of knowledge, and you can't put the absence of knowledge on a sworn affidavit and attest to it as factual. That's just bullshit. And cops need to know better, and they do know better, but cops are told every day they can lie whenever they want, and so that's carrying over to sworn affidavits of truth signed under penalty of perjury. This is a 15-year felony perjury. He believes to be a marijuana grow on the property. He goes on to say, a fiant observed on the southwest corner of the property a large wooden fence surrounding what he believes is a marijuana grow. So basically, this cop, David Feger, can go see your fence on your property, dividing your property from the neighbors, and just assume that you're growing medical marijuana and call it. In another sworn affidavit, he called John Bendeley's house a known drug house. Now that's a criminal charge. you can't say John's house at 650 South Wise Road is a known drug house unless there's been a previous conviction, because a known drug house is what John was charged with after this bullshit affidavit, perjured affidavit, was used to get a bullshit search warrant to raid his property and steal everything he had. Now, I'm just going to keep going. Surrounding what he believes, again, beliefs are the absence of knowledge, is a marijuana grow, which is covered by a canopy top. So obviously the cop couldn't see it. He did recognize there was a canopy from the street, and he's making assumptions here that it's a marijuana grow on the property. Okay, assumptions. These are assumptions. These are beliefs. These are the absence of knowledge. This is bullshit. Okay, total bullshit. Large wooden fence. Well, that automatically says to cops, I guess you're growing marijuana. Okay, it goes on to say, which is covered by a canopy top, a fiend could readily smell from the road what he believes from his training and experience to be the odor of marijuana from the property. Now, I've smelled marijuana, and I think it smells like skunk. I can't really tell the difference between marijuana and a dead skunk. To me, they smell the same. But this is important later on in the same affidavit, because he's claiming that he smells marijuana from the road. Okay. And then in this bullet number 2, the marijuana grow can be viewed on Google Earth. Again, this is like positively IDing a mosquito's ass at the North Pole using binoculars from Hawaii. Okay, you cannot positively identify marijuana from a satellite. Yeah, you can tell there's a fenced area. Yeah, you can tell there's something growing there, but you cannot tell what it is. It's a green smudge. Okay, it's green. It's not dead. It's not brown. It's green. Okay, so it's a color picture. You cannot positively identify it as marijuana. So that's a lie on a sworn affidavit. Okay, he stated it as fact. And this is bullshit, folks. I mean, this stuff cannot stand, and it needs to be pointed out. People get tied up fighting the allegations themselves when everything is void on a bullshit warrant. What was the name of that case, John?
Brown versus United States.
Brown versus United States clarifies and drives home what I just said here. You cannot send a man to jail on a bullshit perjured affidavit by a cop who's willing to lie under penalty of perjury on a sworn affidavit. This is not how it works. Okay, and it pisses me off. And they're not doing anything about it. This Chief Peggle, or Pogo, or whatever his name is, doing nothing about it. The prosecutor in Isabella County, Risa Scully, has been made aware of this. The judge, Mark Duthie, was made aware of this. It was Mark Duthie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the prosecutor and the judge both know that all of this shit's going down on a perjured affidavit. John pointed this out either in a motion or verbal testimony at his trial. And the county is still intending on sentencing John this week. Okay, number 3, then on September 27, 2015 at approximately 3 p.m. Okay, again, this cop is stalking John. Was in his own police report here. He drove by the property at least 3 times, and he was just like hanging out there. Okay, now back to the affidavit used to obtain the search and seizure warrant. Fian observed a silver Chrysler 300 backing out of the driveway. That's the only reference ever made to this silver car, is that it's a Chrysler 300. There's no license plate number. There's no actual, evidence of what this car is, like it was the only one on earth. Okay, that's it. Silver Chrysler 300 backing out of the driveway of the above described residence. Fian conducted a traffic stop upon the vehicle due to there being no insurance on the vehicle. Now, this cop has a crystal ball, or did he run the plates without probable cause while it was sitting in John's driveway? And how does the state, how does a police officer able to run plates and find out if there is or isn't insurance? This is a total invasion of privacy, okay? But the reason this cop, David Faggett, ran the plates in the first place without probable cause. Okay, so now he's just hanging out waiting for this silver car to leave because he's already violated the rights of the owner of the vehicle by running the plates while it was sitting in the driveway, presumably for what reason. I guess it becomes clear throughout this affidavit. He was looking to tear down John's grow operation, and he's state licensed to produce this medicine for his patients. Okay, so Fian conducted a traffic stop. I'm just going to read this again. Upon the vehicle, due to there being no insurance on the vehicle. Now, again, there's no way for this cop to know, this David Faggett, to know that there is no insurance on the vehicle. Okay, I don't know how many times I've switched insurance carriers, and one won't be good anymore. The card is replaced by a new card in your wallet. There's no positive way for a cop to know that a vehicle is not insured. Okay, so this was speculation, and he's stating it here as fact. Okay, so the fact that this vehicle was pulled over to begin with is bullshit. Okay, number one, he ran the plates without any probable cause. Number two, he's taken somebody's, from the information he got in his police car that there's no insurance on this vehicle without probable cause. Okay, there was an agenda here, and it's all part of a bigger picture. Number four, now it starts talking about the people that were in the car. And this is what's important to me about this, is we have to recognize when we're looking at bullshit, because the fact that a warrant was actually issued to search John's house and to seize all of John's property when he's growing prescription medicine for his patients is completely asinine, total bullshit. And I'm not going to get into the people's names on this affidavit, but what I will say is that the affiant talks about his conversations with people who are alleged to have said something about other people doing some other things, and it's written in here in this frickin' sworn affidavit of truth as though it was first-hand information. I've never seen anything so fucked up in my life. This is total bullshit. And how these cops are getting away with this is really pissing me the fuck off. Is that clear enough? Pego, whatever the hell your name is. These cops are running rampant. They're doing whatever the hell they want. I'm going to say that Joe over here said that Susie said something, and then I'm going to put it in a sworn affidavit and take away somebody's freedom, somebody's liberty. This is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever seen. And it's fully endorsed by Mark Duthie and Risa Scully. You guys are freaks, okay? You guys are freaks, and I'm not done with you. You can tear apart my house, you can steal it, you can throw all my shit in the dumpster, you can appoint new sheriffs that won't arrest you, but I'm not done with you. I'm nowhere near done with you. I'm so freaking pissed. This is bullshit. This cannot stand, it will not stand. You're sending a man to jail on a perjured testimony of a freaking cop that lied his ass off, talked about second, third, fourth-hand information as though it was factual. I'm pissed. Michigan is pissed. And when we see this stuff, and today on the news, around 3 o'clock, wasn't it? Somebody shot up a frickin' courthouse in Benton Harbor or St. Joe or somewhere down there. And I sit here going, well, geez, it's taken people long enough. I mean, when I see shit like this, there's no question in my mind that this is going to become commonplace. When our courts are obstructing justice, when our cops are lining their frickin' asses off to generate revenue for the state, what else should happen?
People are going to snap.
People are going to snap. And I've been talking about this now for about 5 years. People are going to snap. Magistrates scribbling on the bottom of a search warrant is null and void, okay? No P number. Just a scribble. Looks like an X. Oh, the cop says he thinks he knows who it is. But, you know, you can't read it. I don't know if you can even see this. But you can't read the signature. It's just bullshit. It's total bullshit. No P number, you know, no positive way to identify the piece of shit that signed this document. And that's done on purpose, okay? Because he's trying to avoid liability. Because a frickin' magistrate and a frickin' judge should know the difference between admissible evidence and hearsay. And you don't issue warrant on hearsay information. Period. What was that case again?
Brown versus.
Probably the most relevant case law is Brown versus United States. And with that, I gotta stop.
Opinion was handed down last Wednesday, or a week ago, Wednesday.
And we could, you know, it's a fresh thing. Like it matters. You know, this is all being done by the bar. Okay, the Michigan bar is completely responsible for allowing this kind of shit to happen. We got a prosecutor that's a member of the bar. We've got defense attorneys that are members of the bar. We got the judges that are members of the bar, and they're all working together. I mean, everybody knows that. Okay, but they're destroying America. They're destroying our freaking country. And we have to recognize the source of the problem if we're ever going to fix it. And right here's the source of the problem. This good old boy shit in Isabella County and everywhere in Michigan, from what I'm told, is bullshit. It's got to stop. Okay? Recognize who's doing it. It's the bar. It's the Michigan bar. It's the American bar. It's the Kansas bar. It's the Iowa bar. It's all the freaking bars. They're doing this. Okay? They're obstructing justice. They're taking away justice. And we're going to have shootouts at our courthouses all over the country. Okay? I'll bet you that there's a lot more that aren't even being reported in mainstream media. Okay? This is what's going to happen. Okay? The people are being pitted against other people, you know, for whatever reason. But the shit's got to stop. Okay? And here it is. You know, it's simple. The charges against John should be dismissed with prejudice. Or without prejudice, I keep forgetting. All of it. Bullshit. Bullshit warrant filed on a Sunday. A Sunday. That's all for now. That's all I got for now, unless you guys want me to hit on something else. But yeah, I'll be back more later with other stuff when I calm down here for a few minutes. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. We may or may not post this on the Justice League. It's up to John. John was attacked because he was going to help me, and he was going to help me get a computer. And obviously, when this lying ass cop David Faggett went into his house with this bullshit story about secondhand information to get this bullshit warrant from a magistrate you can't read his signature from, and destroyed John's crop. Never produced.
For patients.
Yeah, for patients.
One of them with that.
Fucked over the patients. Okay, the patients are relying on John as a caregiver, a licensed caregiver in the state of Michigan, to produce this for them. They all got screwed. You know, where's the state's? How do we stop this? How do we stop this? I mean, where are the police? Where's the frickin' police? The crime was what happened to John. That's what the crime is, and it was done by the police. You know, in 2010, when my house was stolen by the police, where was I supposed to go? You know, where do you go? There is nowhere. Okay, so this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And John was going to help me, and now he can't help me. And it's all because of the conversation we had on the stupid jail phone when I was being unlawfully detained by Isabella County on bullshit charges. And this is why. Okay, these people are practiced at this deception, at this crime. There's no difference between Isabella County and organized crime. It is organized crime, and they think they're good at it, but they're not. They suck. They really suck at it, and the people in Michigan need to know this. It's right here. It's David Faggett, bullshit affidavit signed by a frickin' magistrate, Matthew Hagan, signed by a frickin' idiot, Risa Scully, as the Isabella County elected prosecutor. Okay, she doesn't even know how to sign her name. There's no P number there either. Okay, it's all bullshit. And John's gonna be sentenced on this bullshit. The crime is what happened to John, not what John is alleged to have done. The allegations against John are fucking irrelevant. Fucking irrelevant. This is the crime right here. The crime is in what happened to John. That's it for now. Apologize for the language, but sometimes you gotta do it. I'm tired. Cut.